Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We should always look for value or valor regardless of who or where or when that individual lived or performed or who that person might have been. Valor is a value and it's also based on our values. Obviously we give valor to someone if we agree that that person excelled in certain activities that we considered valuable. Now you can be, for instance, you can be a person of value if you're a criminal and you perform a lot of crimes. Well, you have a value in that, but you have a negative value, if you know what I'm trying to say. So you are on top, you're the best, quote unquote, criminal, but you are the worst in reality. So the same if you have a basketball player, if you have a basketball player, doesn't matter if that person is French or, I don't know, Chinese or, I don't know, South African. And it doesn't also matter if that person is a woman or a man or a little person or a whatever. I don't care personally. If you are the best in a basketball court, you're the best. So let's get straight to the point. I'm talking about tennis here, and I'm really I feel like vomiting when I watched mass media portraying Serena Williams as being the great of all time. She was a fantastic player, great player, very good player, as I said, but she was not the best. She was not the best, not because I say so. I don't care about her, I can tell you this. She was a fantastic player with a very, very low behavior. Very classless person. So she was a very good sports person but had no class. She was I don't have to tell you because you know exactly how she is when she shows who she really is, when she loses, and she loses herself and she turns into what she is. Now I will as I said, I made a video about, 3-4 days ago where I said Serena Williams is not the GOAT. Please watch that video before you call me names and all that, and you will see the statistics that I used are still available online, and I will refer you back to them. That's a page called All-Time Tennis Records, Women's Singles. So again, it's all-time tennis records dash women's singles, and you're gonna find over there a lot of which I mentioned, and I read all of them in the previous video where they're all the data over there. Serena Williams is consistently on the 8th place, 7th, 8th. Sometimes she's at 2nd, sometimes first, neck and neck with someone else. As I said, she was a fantastic person, but she was classless. Now, on the other hand, I have an article here. I'm glad that she finalized her career at Flashing Meadows. Great career, fantastic career as a player. As a tennis player in the court, she was, she was not with class. Now, we should differentiate between tennis, for instance, and soccer, or tennis and basketball. I'm going to use some words that are not very beautiful. It's like you have, for instance, martial arts. Martial arts are not only when you go and fight. You're not I'm not talking about MMA. MMA is I beat you, you beat me. Nothing on top of that. It's not an art. It's an art of war because you go and beat the other guy. The same with boxing. I beat you, you beat me. Martial arts have more than fighting. It has divided in four parts. Martial arts. It's fighting, kumite, kata, forms, that form its kihon, and then from kihon is kata, it's imaginary fight with multiple opponents, but it's imaginary fighting. And then the fourth part is Tamishiwari. Tamishiwari is breaking stuff. That's you prove yourself how tough you are, and if you are able to, how strong you are. That's what it is. And sometimes you do exhibitions and so other people. So now martial arts has they have an ideology, and they have respect, discipline. They have a philosophy. Boxing doesn't have a philosophy outside of I'm going to punch you in the face. The same with basketball. They don't have a philosophy of you have to be respectful. Nothing in basketball says that. In basketball, you have to put that ball in that hoop right there. That's all. Like in boxing, you have to use this in that head, knock him out. I don't pretend, and I don't want to insult anything else, but let's be real. Basketball doesn't have anything but a sport. It's a game. It's sport. That's all. The same with soccer, the same with basketball, same with other things. Now, tennis and golf started differently. Started in a different echelon of the society, and it was played by a certain kind of strata of the society, which, to say it, was very high. So when they started competing, they had a lot of codes: respect, discipline, class. Now that was lost, the same as boxing. Look at, for instance, at boxing. You can see fights from, 40s, 50s. You see the guys, after knock one out, going helping to get out. I watch a lot of boxing for the past. They rush over there and help him out. They're not like taunt him like Ali started. They don't do these kind of things then. They shake hands, they take pictures, they speak like gentlemen. Look at how, for instance, it is now when they have a face-off. They call each other names. The society became more of a garbage. So these guys. So look, for instance, Schmeling versus what's his name, Joe Louis. Look how they behaved, and they tried to make them Nazi versus free world and so on. They were friends after the fights for the rest of their lives. Schmeling paid for and gave Louis, who was bankrupt, he gave him money. He even paid for part of his funeral and so on. Schmeling, the Nazi guy. Nothing the other way around. So anyway, this is just an example. They were friends and they behaved like gentlemen. Look at how gentlemen they are right now. Just watch. I don't have to tell you Tyson Fury, that I like, with Deontay Wilder. Look how they talk to one another. Makes you, oh, what the hell is this? But that's boxing. You got used to it. So I'm going back to tennis. So Serena, when Serena was not training and not participating, they had all kind of ATP, number 1, number 2, number 3. When Serena was coming, was beating everybody with one patch over her eye, with her one hand, arm behind her back, beating every number 1, number 2. That's why for me it was, you're not a number 1, number 2, unless you play Serena. And if you beat Serena, then you are. If you don't, you're not. You're not. That's why she was strong, she was talented. Unfortunately, she had more strength than talent. Talent because she was good mostly on the fast surfaces, which that tells you that she's fast, strong with the serve and the rip, which is fine. That means she doesn't have the, this kind of things playing on Roland Garros, for instance, in France, on another on grass, on Wimbledon. She won, I think, the Wimbledon, but I'm just saying those were not her strong, terrains or how surfaces. She was good on concrete, or however you call it, fast surfaces. But nevertheless, she was very good. Now she retired, and everybody's goat. Oh my God, look at her, she's so beautiful. I don't think she's beautiful, but that's a preference, okay? But they want me to say it's beautiful. No, I don't think she's beautiful. I don't think she's beautiful. Maybe if she would be, I don't even think that would be an option. If we'll be alone on a planet, I don't think we will have any physical contact. Probably she can catch me, so I don't know, but I will respond differently. So anyway, let's go to the article I want to discuss now, which is Margaret Court. She was one of the greatest, if not the GOAT. Now check her record versus Serena, and you're going to find out that she's got a little bit the upper hand. And she was not only good, she was with class. She was a classy tennis player. I never watched Margaret Court. I just watched her lately because I had to. I said, let's see this woman. I can't say anything about her when she played. Never attacked anybody or hit anybody or anything like that, versus the other person who said that he's going to shove the tennis ball in a whatever person over there with ball's throat. So let's see. The Telegraph says, this article comes from September 4th, 2022. Margaret Court exclusive interview. She said, I admire Serena Williams, but she has never admired me. Well, maybe you expected something like, you expect sometimes a car to fly, and you sometimes expect, I don't know, I don't even know what to say, a tank to drive like a Formula One car. It's not made, it's not going to happen. You might want that to happen because the mass media tells you that the tank goes like the Formula One, like in this case the GOAT is so classy and so beautiful and so this glamorous and all this billionaire and so on. Yeah, maybe, but direct experience and eyewitness on her games prove that she was not that kind. All right, let's go and see what this woman says. So on a peaceful Saturday in Perth, 12,000 miles from the clamor and bombast at Flushing Meadows, Margaret Court has just in Perth was Bon Scott, the singer, the late singer of AC/DC. That's where he's buried as well, if you're familiar with Bon Scott. Love the guy. So Margaret Court has just seen Serena Williams thwarted in a final tilt at equaling her place among the tennis immortals. While and quote-unquote greatest of all time, messages flash up on the electronic tickets inside Arthur Ashe Stadium that statistical greatest, the woman with 24 Grand Slam singles titles, so the departing Williams 23, is at the end of this long-distance telephone call. It is a distraction that now looks blah, 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 blah. Okay, and it said, Serena, I've admired her as a player, Court says, but I don't think she has ever admired me. No, why? She's not that kind. She wouldn't. She lacks that kind of thing. She is the rarest of audiences with Court, who almost never grants extended interviews. I don't think much any longer, she laughs. I was at Wimbledon this year and nobody even spoke to me. So I thought, that's interesting. Well, you and your kind have to get used to that, because in this kind of diverse society, you are the oppressor. So you gotta probably have to think that because of that, you should not be the GOAT. Anyway, so said that she turned 80 in July. Court remains very much active. Okay, it's very sad because a lot of the press and television today, particularly in tennis, don't want to mention my name, she says. It's only when they have to, because I still hold so many records. In 2020, I was meant to be coming to Wimbledon for the 50th anniversary of my calendar Grand Slam. But the COVID hit, so the honor never happened. The French Open didn't invite me. The US Open did not invite me. Rod Laver had won the slam and I was going to be honored in the same way, but no. I didn't lose any sleep over it, but the honor has not been there for what I did do. In my own nation, I have been given titles, but they would still rather not mention me. You're the wrong person. What are you talking about? So these efforts to expunging Court's achievement all come in direct response to her beliefs as a devout Pentecostal Christian. So her religion should not be mentioned because she's a Christian. In 2012, she publicly opposed same-sex marriage. It should not have anything with her tennis career and her records, should it? No, not in my books. If it has, then who doesn't have anything that we all think the same way? I mean, really. So in 2017, declared that she would boycott national airline Qantas over its support for the cause. The backlash has been sustained and ferocious. Yes, because those people are so tolerant. It's unbelievable. They want us to be tolerant, but they are so tolerant when we say, well, I have my own values. I disagree with yours. oh my God, no, they can't. They can't tolerate that. But you have to tolerate them. And he says, the backlash has been sustained and ferocious, with Martina Navratilova declaring, hey, myopic view is truly frightening. Well, these people cannot even think that other people may see the world differently. They have to see it the way they want them to us to see the world. So anyway, she didn't give a, and then she said she had a little thing here when she said, I became a Christian when I was #1 in the world, she explained. You will never change me for that. This is what I believe and what the Bible says. Okay, well, you believe in God, that's fine. Some people don't, and it's okay with that. All right. Recently, she was refused a state lottery grant as a consequence of her biblical views. You still get bullied by LGBT groups. She says, even when I'm helping the poor, some companies are not allowed to give me church things because of my name. Yeah, those tolerant people. There are vehement demands too for Melbourne Park's Margaret Court Arena to be renamed, with LGBT lobbyists calling for the change in reaction to her consistent attacks, quote unquote, on their community. Well, she says, well, they got everything they wanted in marriage, and everything else courts should shut back, she said. So I think, why, when you should be so happy you got that, are you still taking it on our people, if they haven't got the same beliefs? That's what I don't understand. Well, so it says here that the Aussie Amazon, the court belonged to the realm of sepia, but a half century on, her body, blah, blah, blah. Across her amateur and professional career, she won 1,180 of 1,287 matches, earning the moniker the Aussie Amazon. All right, at the major, once singles, doubles, and mixed titles are added together, her record trounces that of Willaims, 64-39. The 64, she predicts, will, with good reason, I don't think anyone will ever touch. Well, just read, just look at that, those statistics in the other video. And she said, court is at pains to stress that she regards Willaims highly as a champion, but there are signs she does not care much for America's sportsmanship, or lack of it. In some of the hagiographics of her past 10 days, it has been overlooked that Willaims told a New York lineswoman in 2009 that she would effing take the ball and shove it down your throat, or that she accused umpire Eva Asdeski in 2011 of being unattractive inside. Observing her Broadway-esque curtain call from Australia, Court was unimpressed that the retiring superstar, neglected to give greater acknowledgement to the winner, Australia Ilya Tomiljanovic, the one who beat her. I thought it was bad that Willaims didn't mention her opponent more than she spoke, she said. When we were taught to be role models for the young in how we behave, we were taught to honor our opponent. You learn from your losses. We respect one another. Well, it's more than this. It's more than this, and you got all. It's like 5 more pages. I recommend this article. Is from the Telegraph from September 4th, 2022. This is the title, Margaret Court exclusive interview. I admire Serena Williams, but she has never admired me. So check it out. I think it shows you a little bit how she was pushed aside, and she's not the only one. Navratilova has a lot of things that Serena doesn't. If you add everything together, as I said, Serena pales. Look at Steffi Graf the same way. Even Martina Hingis got some things. So, you know, and some other names that I never heard of, to be honest. But nevertheless, as I said, I think Serena was a great, fantastic player on fast courts. Doesn't matter, doesn't take anything from her talent, her strength, but as a person, or as a tennis player overall, classless. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.